Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the key and critical trends, topics, and issues that food service operators will need to pay attention to in the next 5 years or so. Here's a short roadmap of specific strategies and tactics to help your team, your company, and your brand survive and thrive in the coming decade. First, let me say that it's a slippery slope to predict the future, which is why we never see a headline that says psychic wins lottery. But one can thoroughly assess current trends in food service technology, design, menus, hiring, and customer behavior, and then make some reasonable assumptions about what will most likely occur in the next few years. I think we should start by first considering what's not likely to change, the big picture issues that will continue to impact our business. The 7 fundamental food service challenges that have been around a long time. They include labor, same-store sales, customer service issues, food and beverage, process and procedure, training and development, and site selection and marketing. These 7 perennial challenges to our people, performance, and profit impact our business today and will surely impact it 10 years from today. The key is to leverage all the available resources, technology, and innovation we have in the present to minimize the cost and maximize the impact of doing business tomorrow. Well, it's complicated, but here's 3 ways. First, benchmark company, industry, and then non-industry best practices. Make tacit knowledge explicit within your own company. Create an online repository of insight where managers can share best practices on those 7 challenge areas every week. Now, that being said, if you're only benchmarking your company's best practices, you're probably not going far enough. Since you compete against dozens of other brands, you should be benchmarking all of their best practices too. And since we're competing with the retail, grocery, and manufacturing industries for the same labor pool, we should also be benchmarking their best practices relative to marketing, merchandising, hiring, training, and service. Hold on to the old just as long as it's good, and grab the new just as soon as it's better. Study innovation everywhere. Steal better ideas. Adapt, innovate, improve. Every day we spend not improving our products is a wasted day. Second, study the train wrecks. Research current food service brands that are succeeding. They're obviously doing something right to acquire and maintain customers. Find out what it is. But also look at food service brands that flew and then failed, that soared and then stumbled, that dominated and then disappeared. You can often learn greater lessons in leadership by studying businesses that tanked than by studying those who didn't. Third, make every detail perfect and limit the number of details to perfect. Your primary job is to eliminate the things that cause conflict with your customers. What drives customers, crew, and shareholders crazy? Habitual inconsistency. So, habitual consistency in operations is the target, day in, day out. To achieve that, we need to build perfection into our processes and design quality into every procedure, especially training. Impossible? Not at all. You already did it in the kitchen with your recipes and menus. So, determine the specific steps it takes to positively delight every customer. Then work outward from that moment of truth to define and refine the process. Once you've identified the steps, make sure your teams are practicing each step of the process right first, and then identify ways to increase the speed and volume. That's how you get to habitual consistency. Lack of consistency is the #1 reason that performance fails. Anyone can deliver on a perfect day. I never discuss which food or beverage will be popular in 5 years because menu trends are cyclical. But defining and executing the process of habitual consistency is forever. It's your end game. Ideas are easy. Execution is hard. Restaurant success just isn't about innovation, It's about execution. It's not about ideas. It's about making those ideas happen. Ideas are commodities. Executing them is not. Embrace technology. 125 years ago, if you asked a farmer what he needed to be more productive, he'd probably say he'd like a horse twice as strong that ate half as many oats. He wouldn't say he needed a tractor. Ask a food service operator in 1995 what she needed to be more profitable, and she'd say lower labor costs and higher sales. She wouldn't have said an iPad or a tablet. The point is, technology changes things so rapidly. The food service operators aren't sure what the best solutions to their problems might be. And worst yet, the solutions they choose may not be in sync with what our customers want. It's not so much that we need new ideas, but we need to stop having old ideas. So seek out trusted partners in technology. Picture a typical scene today in a restaurant, pub, or a hotel with a busy server handing a diner a menu and trying to describe specials or suggest specific food or beverage. Now imagine that menu dissolving and being replaced by an iPad or a tablet. The result? More cash in your pocket. Why? No more printing costs. No more menu merchandising training for the server. Better inventory control and higher sales because the iPad or tablet will automatically adjust pricing for available inventory, for food that's fast approaching its freshness date, and it will even allow peak pricing, that is, charging more during the busiest times. In fact, this smart menu will sell better than 80% of the servers we currently have. Now imagine the same scene where the server dissolves at the same time the menu does, being replaced by the same iPad or tablet, being handed to 6 different tables by one greeter. You've just replaced one of your biggest recurring costs, challenges, and frustrations: labor. In the next 5 or 6 years, I expect pads and tablets to replace 50% of servers in full-service restaurants. And I believe that ordering kiosks or mobile phone payment will replace 60% of quick service order takers. That labor saving alone could improve prime costs and earnings by 3 to 6%. And save untold hours and expense on sourcing, hiring, and training employees, and probably even improve service for our customers. Second, continuously improve. Direct and inspire your teams to be brilliant at the basics, and motivate your restaurant managers and above restaurant leaders to exert constant, gentle, daily pressure to improve. Be self-competitive. Every day, ask yourself, how can we become the kind of company that would put us out of business? Evolve into that company in the next 5 years. 3, make hiring the most important decision. When you have great people on your team, despite the cost, despite the effort, great things always happen. Companies don't build business, they build people. People build business. So out-teach, out-train, and out-develop the competition. You know, there's 4 kinds of performers. There's A players, B players, C players, and D players. Now, we love A and B players, but as the labor market tightens, they're not the ones seeking employment. Only C and D players are looking for work. So in the next 5 years or so, your managers had better get really good at developing C and D players into B and then A players. That gets you a reputation as a career builder, which attracts other high performers. The truth is, you don't find great people, they find you. A strong team is like good health. Its value is rarely appreciated until it's gone. 5 years from now, most everyone will be younger, both customers and crew. They'll bring new ideas on how to create value and improve profitability to food service. Many will be more clever than we are, and they will challenge the process. I think it'll be a very exciting time. Maybe not so much for the geezers. Now is the time to reassess how you train and develop your future leaders. The best teachers and leaders, they don't tell you what to do, they show you how it's done. They show you where to look, not what to see. Teach your team how to think instead of just telling them what to do. Because if you train only to a process, all thinking stops. I think the defining factor for success over the next decade or so won't be resources, it will be resourcefulness. Apply the same innovation to training that you will to design, to menus, to order taking, to analytics, to processes. Streamline your manager's duties. Never introduce a new process without taking away an old one that doesn't produce results anymore. That's a really good question. I think we'd all agree that the goal is a quality product and better service for our customers, right? However you achieve those objectives, you win. If it can be done with great servers, fine. If it can be done better with technology, fine. The definition of good service depends on your expectations. And that varies by how much you're paying for the experience or how old you are. Will a Michelin 3-star restaurant replace its servers with iPads? Doubtful. But can a casual theme or quick service restaurant see economies of scale, reduce labor cost, and improve service by using tableside or mobile ordering technology in place of servers? Probably. Will their millennial and Gen Next customers expect a technology interface at the point of sale? And will they avoid restaurants that don't have it? Possibly. People over 50 remember travel agents, bank tellers, and airline counter staff. Their parents remember telegraph operators. When quick service restaurants needed to cut labor in the 1980s, they eliminated the busboy position and they trained customers to clean their own tables. I'm just saying that the server or order taker may be the next victim of this progress. My hope is that managers will invest the additional freed up supervision time into more attention and more hospitality for our customers. After all, service is our invisible product, but it's difficult to teach and even more challenging to execute. The soft stuff is the hard stuff. And since most food service operators seem either unwilling or unable to train and develop people to deliver a habitually consistent experience relative to service, then I say let the iPad or tablet or kiosk do the selling, ordering, payment, and processing, and do it better, eliminating 80% of a server's current duties. But if I'm paying big money at a fancy place for a great meal, I expect service and attention analogous to the price. Well, menus will change, technology will improve, and concept creators will continue to innovate. The key strategies are to continuously improve, never get bored with the basics, and remember that the future starts today, not some hazy time tomorrow. The future arrives 1 hour at a time. So make your business a little better every day and do a little more every week to get where you need to go. Make change a part of you and your team's routine. Paint a wall, improve a process, teach someone something new every single week, but starting today. A year from today, don't be 52 improvements behind. I think the secret to building a strong future is to give it all in the present. Start now. Make today ridiculously amazing for your customers and your teams. It's an old phrase, but the best way to predict the future is to create it. You can't get too far ahead of your customers or you'll confuse them. And you can't get too far behind them or you'll lose them. Either way, change with the times or the times will change you. It's that simple and that hard.